Good morning. It is Sunday, day 2 of my Buffalo River Trails through hike, and this was a good camp spot last night. I slept most of the night on and off. I slept better than I thought I would, usually not more than an hour and a half at a time, but that's fairly typical in a tent. It is 7:16, which is right at 10 minutes before the official sunrise. You can start to see through the trees, a little orange poke in there, but I'm hoping to do 16 and a half, at least to get to the Ozark campground where my truck is today. I'm thirsty. I told you all yesterday I didn't have much water. This pond water source wasn't usable, and for my health, it wasn't usable. So I didn't cook dinner last night. I had a candy bar and some peanut butter, and I kind of sipped on some water through the night. I'm feeling pretty good. I drank probably 1.5 liters since yesterday evening. Well, from the climb up when I started having the lightheadedness and that. Right now I have maybe 1/8 of a liter, but this reliable water source, the river, is only 2.3 miles and downhill. So, not too worried about that. Didn't even get to make coffee, which is, the one real pleasure out here is making coffee in the morning, and didn't have enough water for that. So, all right, I'm gonna keep walking here and see what we can see today. Let's go. I am at the junction for Kyle's Landing Campground. About a half mile prior to this junction, there's probably 4 different backcountry sites, and there was some river access back there if you wanted to walk a little bit. I chose not to do it because I was going to the campground. But if I had known that in the predicament I was in last night, I probably would have kept going. There is no signage to direct you to Kyle's Landing. There is a junction with 2 trails, but I've been in and out of his horse trail as well as the BRT this morning. I went luckily I probably only went 50 or 100 yards past where I needed to, and I thought, man, it's gotta be getting close. So I looked at Gut Hook and it showed that I'd passed it up. So in fact, you have to take the horse trail, is what it's looking like, to Kyle's Landing. So I'm really hoping there is like a water spigot. All right, I have some coffee brewing, and I actually have a pack of hazelnut hot chocolate to add in there. I chugged about 1 liter of water. I'm gonna probably get at least 2 liters in me while I'm here and then leave with 2. So I don't have to worry about the water issue. Plus I got water at my truck when I get there. I'm only 14 miles from there. So I'm gonna go and take a long break here, I think, and have breakfast and coffee, and I'm gonna brush my teeth too before I go because I had no water last night. I couldn't even brush my teeth. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, I'll talk to you guys all when I get going again. I've been sitting here at Kyle's Landing for, 45 minutes or an hour. And a lot of people have packed up and taken off since I've been here. But that's typical Sunday morning in a campground. This is another beautiful little campground. I had a couple liters of water, had my coffee, had a really nice long breakfast break. A guy came up and talked to me, John from Kansas City. Hello, if you ever see this. And it was nice talking to John because he knew backpacking gear. Talked about Enlightened Equipment quilts and was asking me about my pack, and we had a nice chat. He was from Kansas City, so he recognized my Hospital Hill run shirt that I'm wearing. But yeah, this is another beautiful campground. You can't really see it in the selfie cam, but this beautiful bluff up here. We got some nice red trees. So for planning purposes, if this campground is full, and you're trying to stay here, I think I said before I got here, there were several backcountry sites not far in. Good running water here, flushable toilets until middle of November. Get rid of your trash, and there was a plug-in in the men's bathroom. I didn't need to plug anything in. I'm only out for a couple days, and I have plenty of power. But that's the sitch here. Man, look at me, water girl teaching me all these cool fancy words. Now my sitch is I got to get to walking because I still got like 14.3 to go. Can't be dilly-dallying all day long. It is kind of stone stepped in places, but the stone steps are covered in leaves and debris, which kind of make it worse. But anyway, the woods are still beautiful. I love all these big rock formations. This one's not even like a cliff over the river. This is just alongside the trail. The trail's on this road just for a little bit, couple tenths of a mile. And here is Cherry Grove Cemetery. We're gonna walk in and look around. It looks like a really old cemetery. It's just kind of out here in literally the middle of nowhere. I don't think anybody's using this road. The road's mostly covered in leaves. That one says 1898 to 1931. This by far is the newest one in here. E.H. died in 1925 and Peggy in 1954. They were born in 1867 and 1864. My goodness. There's a lot of these stones that look like just weathered rock. There's no inscriptions or anything legible on them. This one says infant son. I think that says it died in 1881. Wow. Wow, look at this thing. This one was born in 1796. Died 1873. Man, this is a cool old place. Walk around and look a little more. You know, a good bit of these stones are just like weathered, rough, not like a smooth polished stone. You can't make out any writing on them. You know, it kind of makes me in my head go full circle with some of the thoughts I've had this morning. You know, when you're out here walking in the woods and by yourself, you have a lot of time to think. Sometimes too much time to think. But it's really good. You know, something on the AT. You can really sort things out in your head and you have a lot of time just to think and ponder things that we don't have time for in the fast-paced world. I was reading last night a Facebook post that one of my AT friends posted. It was Hummingbird. And she was trying to put her AT experience into words. And a lot of the class of 22 have tried, and I think most of them do a really good job. I haven't really been able to put mine into words, and I don't know if I'm going to try. But the one thing she said she thought she got out of it was just being grateful. Grateful for a lot of things, but mostly grateful just to be alive. You know, that's a lot about what I was thinking this morning. Like, so many people, and myself for a long time, we just kind of go through the motions of working and cleaning our house and, you know, what are we going to have for dinner, and just the motions of life. And we're not really living. And, you know, that's something that I kind of, several years ago, once I started like losing weight and getting healthy and running and trying to go places and do things on a motorcycle, I started feeling alive. But there's no feeling of being alive. Like living and thriving with what you can carry in a little backpack. And just, you know, I'm covering almost 40 miles in 2 days of just seeing beautiful nature. Almost no people. And, you know, I've just been feeling grateful to be alive and feeling fortunate that my body is such that I can do these things. And I think being here in this old cemetery really kind of makes it all go full circle. Like all these people, you can't read the tombstones on a lot of them anymore. You know, we're just, life is temporary. We're here for a short time in the big scheme of things. And, you know, someday I'm going to be a rough stone that nobody's gonna know who I was or anything. So I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking today. It's being very grateful just to be alive and able to really live. Ask yourself. I don't like to get too deep on these vlogs, but let me tell you, ask yourself, are you really living, or are you going through the motions? And if you're just going through the motions, you need to find something. Find something to really live. Go on an adventure. Go do something. Take time to just remember and experience the moments. All right, I'm getting too deep for my kind of vlogging, so I'm gonna cut this off right here. Man, look at these beautiful colors. Got some reds, oranges, yellows. This really has been a beautiful trail so far. Let me check that out. Looks like there is a parking area and a gravel road, but no one is here. So this is, I think it's called the Preston Hickman Historic Homestead or something. You see in there. Wow, this is a really nice old place. So I think we can go in that house. There's an outhouse back out back. Okay, so the one building we just looked in was right there. There's another one here. These are just all old barns. And back when things were built to last. Who knows how old this thing is? Actually, I bet that sign back there knows how old this thing is. Wow, look at this construction. Wow, cool. All right, let's head back up to the house here and check this out. And the sign says no camping. This would be an amazing place to pitch a tent on this nice grass, but I guess you can't do that. The sun's bleaching out my image here. Let's get in here, okay. Oh, there's a log book, I'll sign that. And I said it wrong, it's called the Parker Hickman home. I think I said Preston, it's Parker Hickman. I'll check this out. It has some kind of old roll linoleum. Man, what a cool place. I guess this is like a pantry. Probably store dry goods. Maybe a couple bedrooms, and that floor is really sloping away. You probably can't tell it on here. Now, there was a comment about the stairs were... I don't think I'm gonna go up there. It looks kind of dark, and I got my pack on still. And there's some kind of cubby or something down here. And it looks like just a storage area under the stairs. All right, luckily I got a bright flash on this camera. I had to come up these stairs. Here's the attic. So here's the stairs. And back down here. All right, I think we've sufficiently explored. Time to take shoes off and have a snack. All right, I'm sitting here in the grass right in front of the homestead. I'm looking at the house. I didn't want to sit on the porch just because it's kind of rickety and I just didn't want to do any damage or anything. So I found a nice shaded spot over here. The trail comes right in front of me. So let's see, today I've seen, other than people at the campground, there was a guy and a kid not too far from the campground backpacking out. They must have probably just came in a couple miles last night. I saw a trail runner this morning going the opposite direction, and he turned around. He just was walked by me. So this is a really cool farmstead. I've got 7 miles to go, according to that sign, back to Ozark Campground where my truck is. So I will either be done in 7 miles, or I will do the 2.1 past that to the end of the trail, and then have to turn around and walk back to my truck. So I either do 7 or 11.2 still today. It's just going to depend on how I feel and what time it is and all that when I get there. The benefit to doing it all today, in the morning I'm done, and I've already finished my through hike. If I just stop in 7 miles in my truck today, that means I'm gonna have to get up in the morning and do the 2.1 out and 2.1 back. Storms are supposed to roll in tomorrow. I haven't really had any cell service all day today, so I don't really know what time, but I think I'd be fine doing that in the morning. But it would be nice to finish this thing up today, so we'll see. All right, break time's over. One last look at the Parker Hickman homestead. All right. And I had a first. I just came through some thicker brush. I felt on my leg, I looked down, and there was a dead gum tarantula. Huge, hairy looking spider on my leg. I tried to brush it off easily with the trekking pole. I missed it, so I quickly got that sucker off. Man, it was a big one. I don't think it bit me or anything. I didn't feel anything. But it was, looking down and seeing that thing, I was like, holy cow. All right, according to this map, we got like, for this sign, we have 5.9 to my truck. This is one of the prettiest views I've seen. So much of the views of the water have been obstructed by trees and I couldn't really film it. The deeper parts of this river look like green. Man. Can't see the rest through the trees there, but let's turn around and look one more time. Look at that. The leaves are blocking most of the view of the river. But here I am at Cedar Glade Picnic Area. Doesn't look like there's any people here. I hear a car off in the distance. It sounds like there's a gravel road up there. The sign says Ozark Campground is 1.7, but these have all been off a bit. Gut Hook shows 2 miles. I'm gonna go ahead and stop and take a break here though, and then get scooting beyond this. I don't know if it's allowed or not, but looks like there's a few spots you could camp. Someone has put a tent right here. That's a perfect spot too. There is a road back up there. There's some other places you could put a tent. Like I said, I don't see any signs, but I'm not sure if it's legal or not. Here's the sitch. It's 3 p.m. exactly. It is 2 miles exactly to where my truck is. So I took a break here for about 13 minutes, laid on that picnic table right there, ate 2 Cliff Bars, drank almost all the rest of my water. So at Ozark Campground where my truck is, I'm gonna stop briefly and fill up a liter of water because there's spigots there and wanted to filter anything. And then I'm gonna just keep on going to the end of the trail so I can finish this through hike. And that's another 2.1 or so past my truck. And then I'll have to turn around and walk back. So, while it's only 2 miles to my truck, in order to finish this and get back to my truck, I have 6 more miles. And I should be done with that. I have been going pretty fast, but I figure if I stop my truck for a few minutes and stop, take some pictures at the end, I should be back to my truck and done by 5:30ish, I would hope. And that's like an hour and a half before dark. So that would give me plenty of time to set up camp there at that campground. And then run to town. I think I'm gonna go to Subway and get me a sub sandwich and then come back and chill out at the campsite and then just get up whenever I want to get up tomorrow, which I'm sure will still be by daylight. But all right, here's the river, back to the Buffalo River, and we should only be like 0.2 from the campground my truck is, and I think that's gonna be just up here on the other side of the river, I believe. That water is nice and fairly deep and clear, but instead of taking the time to filter, I'm gonna stop by and check on my truck and use the water spigot by it. So, man, I wish these trees didn't have so many leaves so you can see these views of the water down here. Check this out. I did not even realize that the trail came right into the area I was camped in the other night. Man, Friday night, this place was completely full. So the trail goes right there. My truck is right over there. This whole area was full the other night. I drank a liter of water here at my truck, and I have another liter with me. And here we go. It is about 10 till 4 p.m. So I should be finished in about, I don't know, 45 minutes or so. Let's go get it done. Looks like there are a couple campers coming in. The sign says Pruitt 2.5, but Far Out says it's more like 2.1. So let's hope Far Out's right. All right, only 0.1 left. But I'm walking along this like kind of gradual bluff over the river. And I was hearing like splash, splash, like swimming. And I'm like, what is swimming? And I saw something moving in the water. Right in the main part of the channel, there's a human swimming downriver, like making a bunch of noise. I stopped and really they stood up and was looking around like they're fine. I guess they're just out for a I guess they're just out for a swim in the middle of the river. See some crazy stuff on trail. All right, so it looks like the parking lot is back this way, so I'm gonna go to the parking lot. I assume there's a trailhead sign there. And tag the sign. Here's the start of the trail right here. I guess it's the end of the trail for me. I did some more bonus miles because I saw this over here. So the parking lot's up along that road, that bridge, and look at this part of the river. Man, that's pretty. All right, decided to take a break here just for a minute and sit down on the picnic table right here by the trailhead and just give you a little rundown of the numbers. I did 18.6 miles on day 1, and you know what? I didn't look to see exactly what it was today, but it would be about 18 and a half, I think. Should be 18 and a half because the total trail is 37.1 miles. For the whole trail, total elevation gain was 6,146 going eastbound, and total descent was like 6,480 feet. It was a pretty easy trail, but there was just lots of little ups and downs. You know, that was all spread out over 37 miles. So, all right, that's a wrap for the trail. So I'm not going to do any video on the way back. I'm just going to try to hoof it back to this other campsite where my truck is and start figuring out getting set up for this evening. And I'm hoping to run into town to get some dinner. All right, be back later. Got it all set up. Got my tent set up. Everything's inside, ready to go. I took me a little bit of a shower with some wet wipes and stuff. And I'm gonna go to town and get some Subway. I think that's gonna be a wrap on the Buffalo River Trail. So I got back, got everything set up, went to town. It's only 5 miles away, but it's real curvy and a mile and a half on a gravel road out of here. So it took me a bit. And I got a bunch to eat. I got a foot-long Subway and some chips and some cookies. And I don't even feel that full. I had one beer because I had a Kona, I don't know what it was. I think it was a Kona longboard. I had a couple in my refrigerator when I left home. So I had one of those, and now I'm just drinking a carbonated water and just relaxing. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. And since I went ahead and finished the hike today, I don't have anything I have to do tomorrow. I'm planning to be in Austin and on Wednesday afternoon, and it is right now Sunday night. So I got a couple days, got a couple ideas. I may try to hit up a hike somewhere in Oklahoma. I'm not real sure what I'm going to do. So there may be another video on this little mini series, or maybe not. Until next time, keep adventuring, everybody.